Greetings from Atlanta, Georgia. My name is Belinda Rose Young, and today I'm here to talk to you about a paper that was recently published in Violence Against Women, entitled Sexual Coercion Practices Among Undergraduate Male Recreational Athletes, Intercollegiate Athletes, and Non-Athletes. But first, I'd like to acknowledge the co-authors on this paper. They are Dr. Sarah Desmarais, Dr. Julie Baldwin, and Dr. Rashia Chandler. As a team, we were interested in exploring the phenomena of sexual violence perpetration by male collegiate athletes and the risk factors that contribute to it. The association between the sexual violence perpetration and male collegiate athletes was first mentioned back in 1992 by Melnick. A series of publications during the 1990s followed this, with one by Crissette surveying the judicial records of 30 NCAA Division I schools, noting that although male collegiates comprised only 3% of the population at these schools, they accounted for 19% of reported sexual violence cases. Prior research has suggested a number of risk factors, including alcohol and drug use, aggression, rape myth acceptance, which is defined as beliefs that excuse rape or looking at assaultive situations as something other than rape, hypermasculinity, and attitudes towards women. Our team noted that a number of these risk factors and other environmental factors are present in collegiate recreational athletics and decided to compare the groups against non-athletes on their level of attitudes towards women, rape myth acceptance, and verbal and physical sexual coercion. When recreational athletes and intercollegiate athletes were grouped together and compared to non-athletes, we found that athletes were more likely to hold gender role beliefs and had higher rape myth acceptance. In addition, the rate of sexual coercion was higher among athletes. When intercollegiate athletes were compared to recreational athletes, we found that there was no difference in their gender role beliefs, rape myth acceptance, or rates of sexual coercion. We also found, by mediation analyses, that the association between athlete and sexual coercion was because of attitudes towards women and rape myth acceptance. Lastly, we found that half of the athletes in the study and 1/3 of the non-athletes engaged in verbal sexual coercion, which prior research has shown is a pathway to physical sexual coercion. Our paper contributes to sexual violence research by first broadening the scope of athletes surveyed by including recreational athletes, 2, comparing intercollegiate athlete and recreational athletes on attitudes towards women, rape myth acceptance, and sexual coercion, and lastly, determining that there is an association between athletes and sexual coercion because of their rape myth acceptance and attitudes towards women. Based on our findings, we have a few suggestions in terms of sexual violence prevention education on college campuses. First, we would suggest that verbal sexual coercion education be made to all undergraduate males, given the fact that 1/3 of the non-athletes involved engaged in verbal sexual coercion. Also, we suggest that recreational athletes, intercollegiate athletes, and their coaches be involved in training that's focused on verbal and physical sexual coercion. Thank you so much for your time, and we hope that you'll read our paper.